So, welcome to another episode of Coffee with the Villain. As we know that villains are tricky, and if you don't put much effort into them, they come across as flat, easy, and boring. And that's why we have invited the most detailed and the most crucial villain in fantasy, Lord Voldemort. And along with him, we also have the protagonist of the series, which is Harry James Potter. I would like them to be welcome. Good morning. So here comes the question for both of you, which is the first question is, what do you want more than anything, and what are you willing to do to get it?
I want immortality, and I will murder anyone and everyone who gets in my way.
What about you, Harry?
Me? Of course, for me, all I want is to see my parents again, as I lost them at a very young age. So I even, at the tender age of 11, I even went and looked into the mirror of Eraser, which showed a man's deepest desire, and I ended up seeing my parents. But Dumbledore did show me the bad effects of watching and looking into this mirror, and so I stopped this practice.
Okay, let's jump into the next question, which is, what do you hide from yourself and others?
I hide the fact that I am a half-blood and not a pure blood from everyone.
I see. Harry, would you like to answer that too?
I despise the fact that I have an irrational fear towards Dementors, which are considered fear themselves, and I try to hide it.
Okay, let's go to the third question. What emotional need drives you? The need for love, respect, success, domination, safety, belonging, or self-esteem?
The emotional need that drives me is cruelty and domination. As I was the most vicious rebel to assert a dictatorship of domination in the Wizardian world and almost succeeded in it.
Harry, what are your thoughts?
I think the feeling that I'm driven upon is love, because it's the only thing that Voldemort doesn't have, as he was conceived by a love potion.
The next question is for Lord Voldemort. So, how are you like your nemesis, the main character?
My nemesis and I are the proud owners of a very powerful wand. It was only later that I realized that the cores of our wands were actually brothers. As both of our wands are phoenix feathered, and the phoenix that gave the feather of my wand had only produced two feathers, and as it turns out, the second feather is in Harry's wand.
Ah, I see. So next question goes for both of you. How are you how are you different from how are you different, and how do you admire it?
Since I was a child, I always asked to be different, separate, and notorious. And I also hated my first name, Tom, as it was a very common name. And I later on went to change my name into Lord Voldemort. As a, as a child, I had a very obvious instinct for cruelty, domination, and secrecy, but I often preferred working on my own and shunned the idea of having friends because that made me similar to other students.
What about you, Harry?
I am different in many ways, and some of those are like I'm an orphan, and I'm the chosen one, the boy who lived. and I get a lot of attention from people because of that, and I've always shunned it.
Okay, the next question goes to Lord Voldemort. Um, what do you despise about your nemesis? Perhaps he's simply just in your way?
I have extreme fear of dying to the point of taking several measurements to be all powerful and immortal. And yet, Harry has been foretold to be able to kill me one day. By all means, Harry shouldn't even be alive.
Okay, so the next question and the final question is for both of you. What are your most prized possessions?
My most prized possessions are my 7 Horcruxes, which are my trophies for my bad deeds. My 7 Horcruxes are Tom Riddle's diary, my Rollo-Gaunt's ring, Salazar Slytherin's locket, Helga Hufflepuff's cup, Rowena Ravenclaw's diadem, Nagini the snake, and myself. And during recent times, it has come to my attention that even Harry is one of my Horcruxes.
Great.
What about you, Harry?
My best possession is my invisibility.